Hi guys, so welcome back tonight. Oh my god, so I thought Sharell was going to end it all yesterday, but she started taking jabs, taking subs. Mel never called any blogger's name. She directed her point to every single blogger. But Sharell's word felt like, oh, Mel was coming for her, and then she came with the venom, the fire. I was mostly disappointed on Diva because that panel last night, I've never felt so disgusted. Like, I was like, okay, the previous ones were bad. But the one they had last night in the middle of the night was way beyond disgusting. It was like, I really hate this woman. I am coming here to speak what I do not know. For someone who doesn't follow the show, for someone who doesn't watch the show, for someone who did not even know who Sugar Mama was, she had such opinions. I was confused. So guys, we're going to go through all the lies that she said, and we're going to debunk it because obviously if nobody does this, Sharell is going to keep talking and talking because on her panel she has the power. She was not listening to what anybody was saying. And you know what? Let's get into the video. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, drop a comment on if you want to join in and speak. I'm going to drop the link now for you guys to join in and speak so we can get this started. So let's go.
And we had a conversation, no different than the other days of the year that I have.
Right.
Conversations 2 to 3 times a day about reality TV. And nobody came up and said, you're a liar. What you're doing is wrong. I hope you get sued. None of that. And live in imaginary worlds. Keep making false claims, though, and I'm coming for you. Okay, who the hell making false claims? Who you talking to? I'm going to need to know who you talking to and what false claims was put out there.
You know what's crazy? This is when she's referring to Melody. She's telling Melody she was reading Melody's comments from last video where Melody put out that, oh, bloggers, let me put out Melody's statement for people who did not see Melody's statement. Melody did put out a statement, and the statement was put out day before yesterday. Although I have it deleted. Let me put out the statement for people who do not have it. Shout out to the critical thinkers and the ones who have common sense, because at this point, some of you all projecting and living in imaginary worlds. Keep making false claims, though. I'm coming for you. You know what's funny here? She's telling Melody and she's shouting at Melody, who are you talking to? Who are you coming for? I hope it's not me, blah, blah, blah. Like, lady, I did not see Sharell's word here. Like, I'm sure I'm seeing well. I do not have eye problems. I do not have eyesight issues. So I'm sure I did not see Melody calling Sharell's word. So why did she feel so attacked that she was coming for her that badly? That bad. Oh, she talked about the document and she shows the document. We're going to get to that document. And to be honest, if I was Melody, this is honestly a good thing to sue people on, because at this point Sharell feels like she's on top of the world, and the way she's talking, it's very obvious that someone is feeding her the documents. And I'm sure that Melody has a case because she can actually trace how she got these documents at this point. Because why are you shouting? Who are you shouting at? Who are you screaming at? Telling Melody, oh, who are you talking about? Who are you?
I need to, who are you talking to? What false claims is you talking about? Riling up the troops, riling them up. Everybody, I'm mad, and I need y'all to jump on board. What she puts out, to the true millimeters. Thank y'all all for holding it down with facts. What facts are they holding down? Because the facts the shit they've been talking about in my comment section, that I made up fake court documents. Who has time to make up fake Court documents. Oh, they over there trauma bonding. Prove it.
You know, I'm like, once again, your name was not mentioned. Two, how did you get this card? These are just like simple questions that people are asking. How were you able to access sealed files? It's simple questions and you need to answer because it's looking weird. You are the only one that is sort of like privy to all this info, and then the case is done and over with, and now you're spreading documents to bloggers. Where did you get this document from? People are asking very simple questions. So the way she's all hot bothered, trying to like bully Melody on YouTube because she have 400 and something K subscribers, trying to run a smear campaign on a custody battle that her ex-husband sued her and she was in her right to defend herself. I'm confused. And then you were out here selling false truths, false information, and then when people kept telling you that, oh, this doesn't exist, oh, this did not happen in the show, you were mad. You were mad at that. This lady doesn't watch the show. She doesn't even know what's happening in the show. She doesn't even know what's happening in their life. She was the one who spread the false information about Martel's arrest and everything. And then she feels like, oh, because she's saying this, because many people do not like Melody, we should just take her words for it. Also, what do you think about this?
Well, for me, I for me, I just feel like I said it yesterday. We talked about it. I said he is not, and the fact that she's trying to like come out. When I even saw that she went live again the following day and was talking trash, trying to make herself feel better. That was fucked up. Because even Melody did not, it doesn't, like you said earlier on, she did not mention anybody's name. She didn't say Sharell's word. She didn't say anybody, but your guilty conscience, you knew that you were wrong. You knew that what you did was out of place. What you did was outrightly wrong. She knew that she was wrong, and that was why she felt like, okay, this talk is about me. If you knew you were right, if you knew that you were doing the right thing, why did you feel offended when she put out that statement? Because literally she would win you with that statement, because she didn't call anybody's name. She made a general statement. So if you feel offended by that general statement, that is your problem. And only somebody that knows that that statement is meant for you would feel that fucking way. If you knew that that statement was not meant for you, you would not feel in any way like, oh, I'm hot, this statement is directly at me. But you did those things she said. Those things she insinuated in that message on that Instagram post, you knew that it was about you, because you know that you were doing those things. If you knew you were not doing those things, you won't feel offended, you won't feel upset. And I feel like, why is she trying to prove a point of whether she's talking real or not? People have tried to tell you that, babes, you were wrong. What you're saying, you were wrong. I don't know how you don't watch a show, because I can't stay and not watch a show. I've never watched a show before. I don't know what the show is all about. And all of a sudden, I know what is going on the show. It's not possible. It's wrong. You don't even know this lady. You don't know Melody's children's name, and you are there proving facts and telling us this is the truth. This is the truth. This is the true fact. How will you know the true facts when you don't even know a lot of things going on? The most simplest things that a lot of us even know, even people that don't watch the show, who doesn't know Sugar Mama? And you don't know, and you expect me and you expect everybody, even those that hate Melody, to believe what comes from your mouth if you don't even know who Sugar Mama is. What's the like, it's the simplest thing for me. You cannot even tell us this is that you can't even say, okay, if I see Sugar Mama, her picture and everything. I know this is Sugar Mama. I know this is Melody's child. But you are here proving facts, bringing proof to tell us, oh, this lady is this lady is that, and you're getting offended. Please, you went on your YouTube, you clicked on live, you went live, you said all the things you were supposed to say. Why are you hot by when people were for people coming for you? Why are you pained by Melody putting out a statement that is not even directed at you? You're not supposed to be pained. You're supposed to be the strong ass person that you are, for you to have gone on live and try to tarnish somebody's image, try to say things about somebody. You should also be strong. Don't dish out what you cannot give. You were there talking yesterday, trying to be like the big person. You're strong and mighty. You have so many followers on YouTube. You are mighty, but you're here getting peace. You're here getting peace because somebody said something back at you. How is that working?
So, before we continue, let's start off the same way I did yesterday. We're going to start off with the title of her YouTube video. She said, Sharell's wall-dropping court document and response to Melody Holt. Is Mattel LAMH a deadbeat? If you watch the show, you will know that one thing Melody says is that do not add the name Holt to the back of her name. This is disrespectful to Melody. She has made this comment several times. She is not Melody Holt. The only reason why she still has that Holt name at the back is because of the custody battle. And this just proves that she has little to no idea about what's happening. Because this is like the barest minimum. Even on the show, she's no longer being referred to as Melody Holt. She's being referred to as Melody Shari. This is like the barest minimum of someone who has done their research. You don't even need to go too much. Just check our Instagram page and you will see that the name is Melody Shari. And let me read a little bit of the comments before we continue with the video. Shara's world is heading down the same road as Tasha K. Honestly, and she is not as big as Tasha K. She does not have the money that Tasha K owes. So imagine if they sue her and she gets to owe Melody that amount of money. I'm sure then she will stop like showing all this fake news and false information that she keeps doing and then bragging and shouting like a madman up and down. Child custody records in the state of Alabama is sealed records and not available for the public consumption. I hope Melody stick it to them. Oh, yes, and this is what people were saying. How convenient that you have the details. How convenient that you know what happened in court. How convenient that you know that the judge was being bullied. How convenient. How convenient. She has to document because this is very, very, very necessary. Hey, pretty brown eyes. We don't know what goes on between them except for what is shown on TV and those said documents. Yeah, people lie. Leave her alone and let her have her peace. Yes. Hi, Mokamima. After work, I'm going to get up. I'm pissed. Honestly, it was crazy. I'm waiting for you, pretty brown eyes. I'm waiting for you to get off work. When she didn't know my baby's name, I was done. Oh, God. You know what? Let's continue with the video so people can see that we are not just going crazy because we support Mel. In this instance, I'm putting myself in the shoes of a parent fighting for the custody of their child. And then some sad woman comes out claiming that she has documents and she knows what happened. When she did not know Sugar Mama's name, I was confused. Let's continue.
That I'm trauma bonding. Because when I last checked, my ass been married 33 years. I think I know a little bit about marriage. Ain't experienced no trauma when it came to marriage. Diva, brave enough to share her story with us of what happened to her when she went through a divorce, but instead of listening, and realizing, well, maybe these people got something to say. Team male, team, get them, get them, get them.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. Why should Mel have to listen to gray haired diva because she's divorced? That panel sounded like bitter old women who just cannot see the fact that a black lady left her ex and is prospering. And then she's fighting for battle. This is just the same thing that black women expect other black women, most black women, let me not say black women because that's generalizing. Most black women, or some black women, that's the best way to put it. Some black women expect black women to keep taking hits, to keep taking the shit, to keep taking all the insults because of their kids. But why can't the man take that? Why can't Mattel come online, call her his slut, call her a whore? Why can't Mattel come around, insult her, release her private information to his side chick? But she's supposed to take it because, oh, for the betterment of my kids. Why are we acting like these kids are not seeing? These kids see, these kids hear, these kids know. So, she should take advice from you. You can't tell me the way you had your divorce or the experience you got from your divorce is what I'm getting from mine. We are two different people. We are experiencing two different things. What you experienced in your divorce is definitely not what I'm experiencing in mine. So miss me with that. Oh, the gray-haired diva lady, she got divorced. Instead of Mel learning, Mel is not learning from her. So shut the fuck up. Mel is not learning. Because why would I want to learn from someone who goes online and say I'm in love with my ex? Why would I want to learn from that kind of person? Why would I want to learn from the kind of person that goes online to claim I'm sleeping with my ex? So in the midst of a dirty, stinking custody battle, I'm still going to go back to my ex for some sex because, oh my God, I cannot fathom the fact that I've left him. There's some limits to hate that at some point you need to open your eye and be like, oh my God, maybe I'm saying things that don't make sense. She didn't ask for your advice, so keep it. Oh, they had. You know what? Before we go on, let's talk about these emails and text messages. Before I forget, let's talk about these text messages that was released by Sharell. You know, there's some level that you have to stoop for you to, just because you want to release tea, you know, allegedly. After watching this video, my opinion is that this is all alleged. Someone is definitely feeding Sharell this information because this is not making sense. This is not from pure mind. This doesn't make any ounce of sense because how do you have text messages or an emails between sorry between these kids and their father? How do you have it's a it's a question that needs to be asked. It's a question. So let me show you guys the email. This is the email. Good morning, Dad. Mom said it was fine if you could come to the party tomorrow. Roller time 10 to 12 a.m. Saturday. And I'm sure the birthday they're referring to is the Mariah's birthday that just recently happened that caused the whole drama. So how did I get this email? Isn't it just so convenient that the whole birthday party drama is going to happen on Saturday? And obviously, we obviously know Mattel is going to get dragged, and just conveniently, these text messages and emails are leaking. And then you guys can remember when this message was released by Mattel. Mattel released this text message when he was fighting. He released this text message. I can remember when this was actually released, where he said, "Hey there, Melody. I hope all is well. Our little girl's birthday is this weekend, and I would like to celebrate it. Maria shared with me that you are having a birthday party, so I would like to share the responsibility with you in making this joint effort. I want to be there to celebrate our 11-year-old. Should love that. What are your thoughts? Thanks." Well, our thought is that she doesn't want you there. It's that simple. But how does Sharell get her hands on the text? No, this is very incriminating. This is very, very incriminating. It's very incriminating. It is because this is personal information, personal text messages between and this is the lady that was claiming that, oh, I'm doing this for the kids, and you're releasing this text message saying, oh, the kids are gonna see what the parents are doing online. But you're out here releasing the text messages. I'm sorry. I maybe I don't know the definition of I'm doing this for the kids anymore. There was even one more that I don't want to put it out there because it's really disgusting. This one, the child said, "Hey, will you eat lunch with me today? No one else will. My lunch is at 12:18." I don't want to put out this because I feel it's disgusting to release this. And I feel it's weird because what if the child is not the one even sending this message? What if the child is not the one sending this email? But how did it get to Sharell's words hands? Melody has a case, and this case is still clear cut. How did it get my text messages? How did it fall on your hands? How did you get Mattel's response, which obviously ought to have been sent to me? Everything is suspect. So if you want to come up and speak, I'm going to drop the link down now so you can come up and say your opinion on the panel. So you just click the StreamYard link and it will add you on. So, Usa, what do you have to say?
For her to talk about these messages, like bring out these messages and trying to tell herself that she's bringing out evidence. If you remember the last live she did, she said all these things I'm doing is for the welfare of the kids. Like you said, why would you say for the welfare of the kids and and you bring out text messages that are from the kids that you're trying to protect? Now, why are you contradicting yourself? You're literally making yourself look like a fool, saying that you were there for the welfare of the kids, but now you are the one exposing the kids and showing how they feel about their parents' divorce. And besides, all these text messages are not even concrete evidence. Like, literally, I'm not seeing the sender. I literally can't see the sender. I'm just seeing, I can literally type this, I can literally forge this. I could literally make up this kind of text message and feel as if I did send this message to somebody. Or I could literally have another laptop or a phone and I send myself an email pretending to be somebody else to make you think as if I am that person. People do it. So before she comes to bring out an evidence and says this is a text message, this is text message from her children to Mattel, or these are the text messages from Mattel to Melody, bring evidence. Show us the one that will be like, okay, fine, this literally is from Mattel. But don't come here and bring text messages and trying to make us believe like, oh, they are from the kids or they are from besides, let's even say the messages are from the kids and they are all correct. She's doing his daughter is having a birthday. He has literally had these kids with him because of the custody during this festivity period. and she wants to have this special time for herself, and you're still asking her to like be with the kids again. Is that not being selfish? When he was with them on the festive period, she did not call upon him and say, Martel, I want to be with the kids also on this festive period. She didn't cut his time short with the kids because she was like, I want to spend time with them on the festive period. She waited for her period and celebrated the festive period with them, even after it has gone. That is what custody is all about. When you know that you have somebody that you and her are not in good terms, you try to adjust. But Martel is just a narcissist. And as you said, that look so on for real that at this period when the episode is going to come out about the birthday, and Martel is looking like, okay, if this episode literally airs, I might end up looking like, man, what is wrong with this guy? People might end up seeing like the narcissistic one, seeing his narcissistic personality to the fullest. And he's like, okay, let me, before the episode drops, let me rubbish Melody, let me expose some things by using the YouTuber that wants the fame and literally doesn't like Melody, but comes up here pretending as if she knows what she's talking about, or because she's gone through a divorce. Everybody's divorces is different. Some people go through their divorce peacefully. Some people go through their divorce shambles. So if I divorce and your divorce doesn't mean we're the same. So allow me to go through my process in my own way. You went through your process in your own way. If your way favored you and now everything is peaceful and cool, fine. That's your luck. And you should be lucky that you married somebody as that. But me, if mine doesn't favor me like that, please allow me be. After all, Melody wasn't soliciting advice from Sharell's word. She never did solicit the advice at all.
Hi, pretty brown eyes. How are you?
Hey everybody. Hey, how are you? Oh man, I had just said yesterday that I was going to leave this alone. But then cuz I didn't see her live that she did yesterday until today. The more and more she talks, the more just bigger of a hole she's digging. I think that either Martell allegedly or someone from his camp gave all of his documents from the court, and it's mixed in with the sealed documents. Well, all of them should be sealed, but everything from the old case and the new case. And I heard a live that made sense to me. um Basically it was another YouTuber did a live because they didn't agree with what Sharell is doing, right? So they brought up a lady on the panel who was basically crying and stating how she went through a very, very rough custody battle with her ex husband and his family. Basically, the idea was she took her child to let him, to let her daughter see his father and the family, but they never gave the daughter back. And they basically went and filed everything in the court, just like Martell. So the documents, I think, are somewhat real and somewhat fake. But what happens is if I'm trying to sway the judge and everybody against you, I'm gonna put every type of allegation and throw the kitchen sink at you and make you seem like you're a horrible person. So, he may have asked all of those questions. He may have said all of those things about Melody. He may have even lied about, different things that he said that Melody has done to him. And so, and that's what the lady was saying. She was like, her ex-husband and the family like basically said she was abusing her daughter, and just different things. And they did all of this unbeknownst to her because she was in another city. So she basically has been fighting her child for 3 years. So saying all that, right. So saying all that to say she has since had another child. So she said that they're making it so impossible for her that it's almost like she's willing to just focus on the child that she has with her current relationship and not necessarily leave her daughter. But just leave it alone because she didn't have a lawyer, and she had like court appointed representation that did not fight for her. And whether we all know that black women are the most disrespected, we're the most unprotected, and we're the least believed, especially in the court of public opinion and actual courts. So she was like, basically she was standing alone. And Melody and Martell are in country backwoods Alabama, where they feel that the woman's place is in the kitchen, cooking and being quiet. Back in the day, men could do anything to their wives, and because of their wives, there's nothing that could be done. Like, they could beat their wives up, they can do whatever they want to do, because that's basically, your wife is your property. And Martell is misogynistic, and that court system is geared towards men. And that's what the young lady that got on the panel said as well. She was literally bawling her eyes out, said that was the fight of her life, and she's been going through it for 3 years. And those are the same words that Melody used. She said went through the fight of her life, and it's over. So how dare Sharell go and publish these documents and show these documents under the premise that they're public record, which she sat right there and told a lie, because that guy who said he was the attorney or whoever, he was a criminal attorney, and he said you can pull up or pay for criminal records. Okay, and then on that first day, the in my opinion lady sent Sharell those additional documents and said that, and Sharell was like, well, I can't read them because I haven't looked at them, so we're going to have to do a part 2. So Sharell did not go to the website and pull those documents. I don't know who in Alabama gave that in my opinion lady those private documents, but if Black Titanic went to that courthouse and they wouldn't even let her come inside the courtroom because it was a closed to the public office and there's a dang on gag order on it, Sharell needs to be ashamed of herself for reading anything out of those documents, because they are supposed to be sealed and the children are involved. And how can anybody on that panel say that they are for the children, or they are not Team Melody or Team Martell, when they sit there and make it seem like Melody deserves to lose her children and that Melody is not fighting for her children? Not to mention, they sat there and read what is perceived to be an email from the child. Who cares if you take the child's name out? That's still the child's email to her father. That should not be shared. I just don't understand what she's trying to get from it. But I guess she sees all of the views and all of the click and all of the super chat she's getting. So she's like a dog with a bone on this, and she's just going to continue to do panels. And she's mad at Mel for saying that, the critical thinkers, and she made a whole nother video for more clicks and more views and more Mel bashing. It just pissed me off all over again. Sorry. But that's all I got to say for right now. I'll let somebody else talk. I'm sorry, y'all.
Hey y'all, how you doing? Y'all, let me tell you. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Did y'all hear me? Because I don't know. I was
Yes,
on
I
a
can hear you. Yep,
okay.
I
I
can
was
hear
on a
you.
rant for a little bit.
No,
And
no, and you listen. You, I was glad you went on the rant because I am thoroughly disgusted
okay,
about
so
that live she did yesterday.
yeah,
Like,
I'll be quiet and let you talk.
oh,
But I just wanted to make sure that I can to let you know I can hear you, and I was
oh,
wondering if you heard me. Okay.
yep, I heard you. I was disgusted by the whole thing. Melody did call out for whatever blogger, and like they say, a hit dog will holler, and uh, Sharell was screaming like a biatch over there because yeah, it was probably to you, Sharell. Like, who does that? Read out those court documents like that in the child's text messages. It's one thing to discuss a case, which all the bloggers do and whatnot. It's another to put up people's information like that on screen. It was not needed. It was not warranted. They tried to mix in the old case, the old stuff from last year of 2022, in with this year to try to deceive us. Like no, like we're real ones that watch the show and know what's going on. I kind of say I'm a millimeter. I don't go as far as some other people do, but I follow the show. Like you can't fool us real ones. And like other people said, when she said, um, who's Sugar Mama? I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? That right there showed me that you don't watch the show. You must be allegedly being paid in order to do this, because everybody knows who Sugar Mama is.
She
Her
just
face
running
is
her
her
mouth.
Yes, her face is all over social media. Her face was all over social media with that campaign and everybody, and it's the name of the hair stuff for like Sharell. Like, come on now. And for her to say all the, oh, I like Melody, but this and that, like, no, no. And then the people she had up there, it was too much. And like you said about that lawyer, I was listening to that lawyer, and when he called, I forget the name of the service he said where you could go on and get the online paperwork. That's for criminal stuff. That's not for family law. Family law is a totally different thing. You can't just go and grab people's family law information like that. And even though it might be backwoods, and this is no shade to y'all that live in the South and live in Alabama, but still, even down there, you can't pull the stuff like that. Like she needs to stop. And like I said, she's headed down the Tasha K Street. Yeah, because I think Melody don't play. She don't play about hers, and she's gonna be out there trying to contact who she can to see where she got those records from. Because when I watched the live that she did over the weekend, it looked like the records were on a different, I don't know if she had it on a different computer or if they were PDF. But then yesterday, the thing looked like it was on a Word document that she showed. If I'm remembering correctly, you all let me know down in the comments. Cause yeah, that's a word. That's word. That's Microsoft Word there. But when she had it the other day, remember when she showed it for a minute and gray haired diva told her not to show it the other day? I thought that one it looks different because the one she showed the other day had the I think it had the thing from the court on it that was might have been a different color. I'm trying to remember because I
Yeah,
watched so many videos. But did it look different the one she pulled up the other day?
totally.
Well, the other day I don't remember her showing them. They were just saying, "Hey, I'm going to email you something. I'm sending you something to look at." And then she was like, "Well, I'll have to do a part 2." And then I don't remember her showing anything until yesterday.
No, the other day I think she showed one or
Oh, I
two
dropped
pages.
off the live. I couldn't take
Yeah,
anymore.
she
I couldn't
showed
take
it, and then she took it down because she hadn't really vetted it yet. And I think they may have taken it and put it, because this right here, just look at that page, that paper. That right there looks like they may have like did like a screenshot type thing and put it on there.
I think
So
somebody from Martell's camp emailed them the case information from when he was, from whatever he paid the lawyer up to the point where the lawyer was fired. I
yeah.
think those were the initial paperwork that he
Mm-hmm.
had, because if Melody was in jeopardy, according to them, of losing the trial and getting scolded by the judge, Martell would have never fired his attorney, and he would have never not showed up to court. They're mixing a whole bunch of stuff together, and
Yes.
it's they're deliberately confusing everybody with
Mm-hmm.
the dates, mixing old and new situations, so that people will think that Melody is a nutcase and that
Yeah.
she's just tormenting Martell, and all he wants to do is be there for his children. Martell is manipulating the court system and everybody else to get at Melody, and he's using his children to do it because that's the only thing he can. He tried to do it with the business with those 47 acres, but he
Mm-hmm.
got broke and he had to sell it, and regardless it was acquired with their marital property, so it had to be split down the middle. There was
Right.
no way around that. And then
Right.
he took it upon himself to go into the bank and steal the money that was in the bank. And then once she realized it, that she moved the money out of the account. So all of this is just smoke and mirrors. Martell has lost,
Mm-hmm.
and he's doing everything he can. This is a calculated smear campaign by him, because these paperwork and these documents could have only been shared from him, his attorney, or Melody, or someone that's in the court uh, office, maybe a stenographer or somebody, officer of the court. You cannot go and pull up child custody case file information.
No. And these cases now, everything is done electronically. So everyone who accesses it has a number to it. And all these documents have numbers on it. So they know, like on that page, somewhere like down on the original page that they have, they'll know exactly who pulled it.
It'll say
They have
document number, right?
Yeah, it'll have a document number. It may have a watermark somewhere on it that we may not know, but the court knows. So they're not
Well,
fooling
I
anybody.
was I'm sorry. Well, I was told that somebody put case law in Sharell's comments or either in the chat and told her that she's violating like a statute regarding the confidentiality of a child custody case. And she can
Ooh.
be sued, and whenever it comes out how these documents, if a lawyer did pull this, that they can be
Hmm.
disbarred. So I don't know what she's
Wow.
trying to prove and trying to be big and bad and bringing her husband on and doing all of this and that, but they need to leave this alone. But it's getting clicks and views. She has almost close to 25,000 views on that video, and super
Wow.
chats and everything else. So she's not going to take it down.
Mm-mm, no, she's not. And I see a comment from Sandra. She's asking, did they mention when Black Titanic said he missed the court papers? Sandra, they mixed the stuff up. They didn't put the court cases that happened that just happened, I think, in March. That page that Selena just put up, that was from last year. That was from, I think,
And see,
August of last year.
right.
That
And see,
that wasn't the current stuff.
the thing about it is, y'all, is that the documents that are being shown is a mixture of last year's documents up until he fired his attorney. It's a mixture of their divorce decree stuff, because he had all of that stuff was drawn up when he fired he's done fired like 3 attorneys, because
Mm-hmm.
he had an attorney for his divorce, and then he had to have an attorney to go and file this child custody case. So he's mixing up the documents. But what you're not going to see is the settlement that they came to when Mel won and everything was left as it was. Now,
Right.
Black Titanic did just recently do a video where she went and pulled the documents, or from the front page of Melody's divorce decree, where
Right.
she filed for divorce, because those are also available. The
Mm-hmm.
only documents that are not available are documents regarding the child custody stuff, because it's
Right.
dealing with the minor children. So she read it, and even from the beginning, when Melody filed for divorce, she has always wanted to be fair. She wanted the custody to be 50-50, divide the property 50-50, and no child support from him to her and none from her to him. Martell got broke,
Mm-hmm.
and he could not afford to do the children for the 2 weeks at a time. He can't even afford to do them the 1 week and 1 week off. That's why he needs money from her.
Right.
So that's what all of this is. But they won't show, where they're getting on him for him messing up. Those sanctions that Martell got those over the summer after he went on his Make America Great campaign and started filming his children. That was over the summer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See, they're mixing stuff up with what he said and what happened to confuse people. They don't
Yeah.
have the documents to show where it says that they can't show the children.
She deliberately did not show any document apart from this yesterday. I noticed that. Even when people were like, oh, show the receipt, show the receipt. She only showed the motion and that was all. Then she was like, oh, here's the link. Go find it yourself. I'm like, for real? No, let's
Mm-hmm.
continue with the video. Then we'll go to the comments, then wrap it up.
I ain't playing that. Let me keep going. Asking to be a part of these children's life. Listen to this. Hey there, Melody. I hope all is well. Our little girl birthday is this weekend, and I like to celebrate it. Mariah shared with me that you're having a party, so I would like to share the responsibility with you in making this a joint effort. I want to be there to celebrate our 11-year-old. She'd love that. What are your thoughts? So, as you go through these records, you're going to see a pattern here. They both was clowning. They both got checked by the judge.
Right.
Both of them. But then the judge said, it seems like Martell is trying. Now, somebody going to put the false narrative in my mouth that I appreciate. I men that put their hands on women. What I'm gonna need y'all to do is grow all the way up. Mel was hurt and he did her wrong. We acknowledge that. And we held her up during her pain. We supported her. But at some point, it's got to stop being about Mel and her feelings, and it's got to be about them damn children.
Right.
Like, you are damaging these children so bad that the court ordered them to go to therapy, and they are not allowed on TV in y'all drama.
Mm-hmm.
Let me start pulling up these records. Hold on. It's and people. This, I feel like people enjoy being ignorant. They love the mob mentality. Yeah.
Sharell, what else do you want to show them?
Just the stuff that we went over, and I redacted everything.
Oh, you know what though? I feel, but you could do what you want. I feel like you've shown enough, right? And and only reason why I'm saying that is because now people are saying that no one said that you was bashing Martell. Yesterday, I think, like you said.
You know what, girl? What was funny here was that Diva was telling her that, oh, you've shown enough. But at this point, she had not shown us anything. She only showed us the emails between the child and Mattel. And then Diva was trying to stop her, but I think Sharell did not just get she didn't just get the point that, oh, do not show these documents. We've shown enough. But she was willing to do all, I just do not get why people are blaming Melody for fighting for herself. I don't know, maybe because I'm purely African, so I really cannot relate to all these things that much. But seeing it from the outside, it's almost like they want her to take the beating down. Oh, Mattel sued you, so you don't need to sue back. He already lost it. You don't need to sue back and just move on with it. I don't really get it. And it's the fact that they keep saying, oh, we've been divorced, we have so much, she can learn from us, she can do this. If this is what they want Mel to learn from, I would rather, or it would be better, she make her mistakes and learn from it. Because these women are this type of Black women that people always like. They are the type of Black women that give Black women a bad name. They are always there. Lady B, what are you not allowed to? You can just write it out because I didn't get it. They are the Black women that are always there to put down another Black woman that is standing up. They are the Black women that are always the first to bash another Black woman. While they will be, I don't want to go in on these people because I feel if I start speaking, I will get quickly like very disrespectful because these women are way older than me. But it is just depressing to see ladies that are this old, this length, and all they can think about is, oh, this lady should just she just take the beating, she just shut up, she's doing too much by defending herself, she did not allow Mattel into the birthday party because she is bitter, she should have done it for the better of the kids. Don't you know that kids feed on energy?
She has been doing what was the best for the kids from the beginning. Melody could have outright filed for full custody and court support and everything. She
You are breaking. Or is it only to me?
No, she was breaking up. She must be in the car.
Yeah, I am. Everything.
Pretty, you're still breaking
Go.
currently.
You can go.
Oh, okay. So I would just.
We had a no. Yesterday, I'm just reading the comments as I'm listening to you. I should be about the kids, right? So and yeah, because people was sending me messages to that we was being dragged for filth in the streets. First of all, you was not the first person to even show these documents.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Not at all. And your conversation was not about diagnosing anybody. It was really about we team this or we team that. If anything, we was team the kids. And so we wanted to say pretty much that, you know what? A lot is going on between these two. It is playing out in front of the cameras. It is playing out in social media. And I think a therapist came up there and said it best. She said, anytime, and she's a therapist for this situation, right? She said, anytime you got a couple and there's a demise in that relationship, whether you want to call it 90-10, 20-80, 50-50, both people have a part in that demise.
That's true.
And I think the other piece that we was trying to say too is you can be a mellometer. Hey, do what you want to do, right? You don't have to be for Martell, but all we're saying is recognize that two people are playing into this situation, because you know how they say if you stop putting wood in the fire, it's eventually going to burn out. If you and I are having a situation with Sharell, and I back down finally, right? After what? And just because a man doesn't treat his woman right, then he should have no access to the father.
Now, this is my problem. I want you guys to also jump in. This is my problem. This panel for the past 3 days have been making this statement. If a man is a bad person, that doesn't mean he doesn't get to be the father. Melody is instigating some of the things with Martell. Melody is sleeping with Martell. Melody is still going back to Martell, but because of she's popular, she doesn't want to go back to him in public. They've been making these statements over and over and over, and they've been making it as they've been stating it as if they are speaking facts. And I'm like, if you guys keep stating, oh, you're for the kids, why are you releasing these messages? You know, these kids are already in the age where they are allowed to use electronics, their phones, computers, they can send email, they can scroll through YouTube. And then you're like, I'm dropping. That's the point. Where are the receipts? Like, they legit dropped nothing and they spent over 2 hours bash Melody, bashing everybody that was supporting her, saying, oh, everybody is just following like head mentality. Everybody just wants to be cool. Everybody just wants to support Melody. It made no sense because you are claiming you are privy to having this important information, but you can't show us. You keep claiming, oh, I will send you this link. This is how you're supposed to find this document. Show us the document. I don't want to find it. I'm not the one who is claiming that they have all the information about what happened in court. You are. So show me this information. Someone can drop in if you want to say anything.
Go ahead, Uzo.
I don't think she
You're
unmuted.
muted. So,
Oh, she must be having problems with it.
okay.
But
So the thing is, the fact is that I literally don't know where she's coming from. I don't know who gave her the ability to talk about somebody else's marriage or somebody else's divorce or how the person should see it. I don't know where she's coming from. And the fact is that this lady has to be checked. I don't know whether it is the 400K YouTube subscribers that she has that is getting into her head and she thinks that she is more than any other person. Because it's common decency. This is you're saying you keep on talking about see if you're trying to protect the kids, but in reality you are not. She isn't protecting the kids in any way. You're trying to protect the kids, but you're not doing that. You're still bringing up the kids, trying to air their dirty laundry, trying to bring out text messages, trying to make them feel as if the trying to make project is like Martell is trying, but Melody is trying to be aggressive. It's not necessary. He literally Martell is at a losing game. He went to court, claimed she had 200 babysitters, deceived himself. I don't know what kind of brain he has, how he sees things. Deceived himself, went to court, asked for custody, asked for full custody, asking for alimony, asking for all these things, and he lost. And the fact that he cannot take his L in peace is what is pissing me off. He's such a sore loser. Nobody asked him that you should go and sue Melody. Nobody asked him to go and ask for full custody in the court. Nobody did that for him. He went on him by himself, thinking that he was going to come out great, paid a lawyer, tried to do that, and found out that, oh, you're literally just making a fool of yourself, and he didn't win. And now that Melody is fighting back, she becomes bad. What stops her from fighting back? How is it right that Martell can do that, but when she wants to do that, she becomes the bad person? How is it that it is possible that when she decides that, okay, fine, you've done your own battles, you've tried what you want to try, now I want to fight for myself, I want to fight for my kids, I become the evil person? It's not wrong for her fighting for her kids. It's not wrong for her fighting for herself. Let us normalize a lady deciding to fight for herself, even if it's to make her look as if she's aggressive. Nobody was there. Like, no, you and I were not there in that marriage. We didn't know what was going on. We only see what we saw on the show and most of the things that was aired on Instagram and how Mattel exposed themselves online. But apart from that, I'm pretty sure that if the full, structure of how their marriage was brought up on air, most of us would be like, what the hell is going on here? So for her to come up and say, I want to fight for myself right now, and some people are like, oh, protect the kids, don't do this, don't do that, don't. Wow. Where were they when Mattel was going at her with so much speed, with so much force, with so much energy? Where were they when Mattel was making her look like a fool? Where were they? Where was Sharell when Mattel was talking about how Melody had 200 babysitters, which is not even possible in this world? Even the richest person in the world, sorry, I said 200, 20. Even the richest person in the world would not be able to maintain 20 babysitters at the same time. But he claimed that Melody, that is not as rich as she is, had 20 babysitters. Where were they when he was going and doing all these things? Where were they? That's the question I want to ask them. We tend to forget when when Mattel was being aggressive, when he was coming online talking about how he's this. All of a sudden, what surprises me is that everybody's like, he went to court and they told her to take the kids to therapy, and they should stop showing the kids on live on YouTube, on normally on social media. Please, who doesn't know that the kids need therapy? Even if the judge doesn't or didn't order therapy, I myself would have said the kids need therapy, because if I see my father acting the way Marcel acts to his mother, one moment he acts like a loving person, then when things doesn't go the way he wanted it, the way he envisioned it, he acts aggressively. On the show, we've seen it. In episode 1 and 2, the party she threw for Tiffany, he came and was acting like, oh, okay, fine, I want to open the door for you. Have you prayed for our relationship? Have you, all those things makes people pissed off. Everybody tends to forget those parts. But when Melody says, please, I need you to keep at a distance, I need you to be far from me, they become out, oh, she's very aggressive. She's very aggressive. Please, let's stop coming for somebody, not even for men alone, for anybody that decides that I want to stand up for myself against their spouse. Please, let's stop coming for them. That's the only thing I'll say.
Girl, I hear you.
So I'm going to read some of the comments, then we're going to continue the video because it's almost ending. Sorry, I'm going to start from Lady B's comment. Lady B said, I stopped watching Sharell's channel years ago because of her stupidity and insensitivity. Many times she would have to retract her comments for being invalid. And I mean, it has already happened like 2-3 times already this year. She was doing it for clout and for some coins, obviously. Society never holds men accountable for anything, SMH. Yes, because all what they were saying on that life was Mel. She should have done this. Mel, she should have been nicer. Mel, she should have been this. Mel, should have been that. Oh my God. So basically, they want male supporters to admit she had a role in the demise of the marriage. A marriage is going to get destroyed if it's going to get destroyed. And that's my philosophy. I will never blame anybody for a marriage destruction if nobody cheated. But we have a marriage where one person was actively cheating, had a baby on her, but people still want to say, I mean, the women are so like they just want to say that Melody caused Mattel to cheat. I mean, they should just say with your chest. That's my point. Say with your chest. I feel Mel caused Mattel to cheat. That's because that's exactly what they want to say. All this running around and beating around the bush is not going to change anything. They should just say what they want to say. One way to tear Mel down and protect Mattel is to say they are both doing harm to the kids. And this is exactly what they've been repeating every single time. The case is closed. Any release of communication from the children is a PR attack on Mattel, on Melody. Yes. And even the blind can see it because it makes no sense. Now they decided that I'm going to go to a big blogger and play for the person. Yeah. Yeah. So far one person was actively cheating, you are the cause of your marriage failing. So now let's continue the video, then Mocha will come in to speak.
If that was the case, there's no person in this world, there's no man in this world that could be a father, and there's no woman in this world that would qualify as a mother. We are all makes mistakes, and none of us are flawless. So you can be a terrible husband and a good father. My dad did not stay with my mom, but he was a good father. My mom did not stay with my dad.
Days and days and days, doctored up some phony ass court records is about the dumbest shit ever. Did I make up this court? I just played you the video of the attorney that tells you how to get it. A public record. Yep. Write it down. It's not real.
But I mean, that's always going to
You have watched me come on your channel for a whole time, Sharell. You know I ain't got no love for no side chick, right? so, as a female that ain't got no love for no side chick, why would I be against Melody? All I was saying is, because some people are saying just because a man doesn't treat his woman right, then he should have no access to the father. I mean, he can't be a father. If that was the case, there's no person in this world, there's no man in this world that could be a father, and there's no woman in this world that would qualify as a mother. We are all, our real message yesterday, that's what we was trying to say. That both of these people need to knock it off and come together in the name of the children.
I don't know what this means. Please refrain from speaking to sugar mamas.
That was their last child. So here's the thing. She said, please, because she said the other day someone on the panel said she shouldn't have been born. Disgusting. That is disgusting. But see, here's the hard part when you run a channel where everybody needs to know. We don't know what somebody's going to say before. Okay. We don't know what someone's going to say before it spills out their mouth. And sometimes I wish I would understand how difficult it is. Well, not you don't understand what I'm saying. When you're running a panel, you be like, okay, Diva speak. Okay, this one speak. You don't know what's about to come out of my mouth, and it's not the everything that someone says that doesn't because it slipped out, and maybe we didn't hear it, and maybe we didn't stop it. That don't.
Like in Alabama, both parents have to have it sealed. Here in Alabama, our court systems are not like the rest of the court systems. I've heard some stories, okay? And I'm telling you, from me hearing it, I was like, wow, can't believe that I went through that. But here in Alabama, we're a Republican state. We in the South, okay? Our court systems don't work like that. If they ever thought, okay, this man had done anything reckless to his kids, I believe, and I'm from Alabama, I believe I've had people that got locked up for a lot less, okay? I believe they would have locked him up and he would not have custody of his kids. He would actually have to have somebody there to watch him with his kids.
Comment. So basically, we've been discussing for the past couple of days court documents that was a year ago. What did I just say? Oh my God. No, those court documents are up to date, but it contains everything that happened over the last couple of years. What part don't you get? I gave you the case number to go comment.
The recent ruling, somebody came up on the panel and said, well, what happened to the documents that they filed on
recorded in March, but I don't know. It was last year's event. You've missed a lot. I don't know if you up late. We explained to you the.
Wait a minute, Sharell, I can shed light on it. Okay, so the first day.
So Mocha, you can jump in now.
You know what? I hear that again, and I want to laugh because you playing it like that with the voice. It makes the voices sound funny, so it makes me want to laugh. But then I get so freaking pissed off because with the lies and it's lies, it's gaslighting. Like they think we're stupid. They really think we're stupid. We know the chronological order of everything because we watch how everything plays out in social media. We all know that they put those old documents up there and tried to do the flim flam on us like the stuff was like this is what just happened in court. Like the fact that you have a panel and someone says something bad about a baby being born and you don't check them at any time, even when someone mentions it in your comments, is terrible. Like when that woman said that about Melody shouldn't have had Sugar Mama, she should have been checked right then. That should not have been allowed to go by. Like she should have been listening to what the people on her panel say so that no one is offended either on the panel or in the comments. But Sharell's so busy thinking ahead of how she's going to get at us out there listening that she didn't even hear that. And for them to see, they even glossed over it then like it wasn't a big deal. And then Diva tried to justify it. There's no justification to that. None whatsoever. And like Pretty Brown Eyes said earlier, like this stuff is on the internet forever. And you can tell just how they talk about how they don't watch the show and how that man was saying about how he don't have no love for side chicks. You don't have to have love for the side chick, but how about the man? How are you a good father if you're cheating on your wife for 7 years? How are you a good father when you go out during COVID when the world is locked down and you're going out to sleep with your mistress? How is that being a good father? How's it being a good father when you have your children during your custody weeks and you're still with said mistress and you're getting into arguments and fights with her and leaving the kids and doing all different kinds of things allegedly? How is that being a good father? How's it being a good father when you don't want your children with their uncle, regardless of their uncle's sexuality, and you know the children love their uncle, but you want to make it so that their uncle can't even visit with them or they can't even have an overnight with their uncle or their grandmother? And that's according to the court papers that they read. That makes no sense. It's like he's trying to isolate Mel and the kids so the kids are with no one but him or Mel. So that Mel cannot have her kids spend the night with anyone in the family. And that's supposed to go on for the next the Sugar Mama, she's almost 3 years old. That's supposed to go on 15 years for her and like 10 years, 8 years or whatever for the other kids. Like that's absolutely ridiculous. And also there was a point where they said in the court documents, which in my opinion, they were interpreting this wrong, when they talked about the court not wanting them to talk about the case to the kids. I believe what the court says, and I've heard this in other people's court cases because other people have talked about it, and I know from my own, the court does not want you to talk bad about the other parent, but it's not that you can't talk to your child about that, say daddy and I are getting divorced, he can't always be here for certain events because he lives somewhere else. That's different than saying your father is a butthole or your father's a jerk or something like that. That's two totally different things, because the child can't say to you, why can't both of you come to my spring breakfast this week, and you explain to them. You can't tell them, well, no, we have to wait till we go to counseling so the counselor can explain it. No. So it's a lot of them trying to interpret the law. They're not lawyers. You could tell even the one that claimed to be a lawyer and who lives in, I think she said she lives in Alabama, she's not all that familiar with Alabama law. So they both needed to shut up up there. And then Sharell needs to double shut up with her problematic self. And I used to watch her back in the day. This was when she first got started. A lot of these bigger the people that have these large platforms, I watched them years ago when they first got started, but they were problematic. And I was like, forget it. I can't deal with them in this mess. And it's just the more I think about it, the more I'm getting angry. So I'm gonna let you talk, and I'm gonna take a break and have something to drink.
Okay. Hey, y'all. Can y'all hear me now? Is it still
Yeah, we can hear you.
messed up?
Sound
We
good.
can hear you
Okay.
now.
Okay. I'm in a better area, but I'm still in the car. Well, basically, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Anybody with sense, whether you like Mel or not, just as a woman or even as the man, he was so mad. He just went through this. Anybody would know if you were for the children, there's no way that you would be saying these disparaging things about their mother. Because at the end of the day, Mel took those kids and put them in counseling at the beginning of the separation when they was asking how come mommy and daddy didn't live together anymore. Melody has always put the kids' best interest at hand. And Martell is always doing whatever he can do to poke her because she will not take him back. If she would take him back and let everything be back status quo like it used to be so he can keep his side piece, everything would be fine. But she's not allowing it. She cut his water off. And as far as the documents, they are completely skewing all of that information. None of that is recent. All of that is that old stuff. If they have anything recent, just like I'm thinking that Martell, when he fired his attorney, everything, all of the documents and paperwork and motions and discovery and everything that they had at that point, I believe was given to him. Because when my son got in trouble before, I have a well, he's a grown man now, but when he was a teenager, he got in trouble and I got him a lawyer. And when the case was over, you know what the lawyer did? She gave me his entire file with all of the motions, all of the paperwork, all of the statements. Everything was included in that. Yes, it was a different type of a case, but nonetheless, the only people who should be privy to that information when it's supposed to be sealed in a gag order are the parents and the judge and officers of the court. So I just don't understand how all of this is even coming about now. It's just too convenient that everything is coinciding. Martell just lost in court. Martell looks bad. Martell just showed up and leaked that councilman's information. They didn't say that. Remember he before he went to ask Mel if that's even a real email, he released that councilman's name and got all of that stuff viral and opened up that can of worms for that man and made him lose a position that he had in the city council, and he's one of the people in North Huntsville that's trying to help the minorities there. So Martell does not think, and he didn't do this for the sake of the children. He did this to hurt Melody. Everything he's doing is to hurt her and to make her pay for leaving his sorry behind.
I agree. I totally
And
agree.
well, I just took a pause. I didn't know somebody want to say something, but it's like, okay, they're all going back and forth and saying this and saying that. And it's just like, okay, yes, we're critical thinkers. And she was like, yeah, y'all millimeters. Now I'll never support her now and all of this stuff. You can't support her now. Look what you just did. How can you say you're for a woman or for anybody when you're sitting here reading documents? And just to let y'all know, if y'all are not paying attention, those documents that they had, all of those people that are repeat people on the panels, they were all on Mim's channel. They all on Sharell's channel. And they were all on the channel when they brought out that information about Martell. They all emailed or gave each other that information. So whenever, to make it seem like it's easy to go find. Black Titanic went to the courthouse. She went online and was not able to get it. So I'll be quiet. I see you just posted something up.
Am I okay? So, am I? Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes,
Oh,
I
okay.
just was quiet so that you can speak. I saw you put the text up, so to let you read it.
All right. So, I remember that yesterday I talked about Sharell claiming that a fan messaged the judge and was threatening the judge. So Melody finally responded to that. And I just like, as we're speaking, I just remembered that she actually responded to that claim. And she said, and see, this is why I usually don't even respond to creators like that. And this is why a lot of public figures don't feel safe too. Let me clear this up though. I had a convo with nobody about no feds. I was DM'd about some beef happening between content creators and mods. Never not once was anything discussed that's in this YouTube title. And for even more clarity, I think I would be the one of the first to have a ring to my phone if it was a fed anything anything pertaining to my closed down case. People sometimes truly just make up stuff. And another fact, freedom of speech is real too. Hence, another reason people should have been, I think that part was caught up, but she said people should have been critical thinkers about this whole false info. So, I was talking about this yesterday, and I felt like that did not make any sense. If there really was a federal case involved, like the feds were involved, someone was threatening the judge. It didn't make sense that this is not making balls. I'm sure that Mattel would have been the first person on live, shading everybody, shouting everybody. That's right. Shouting at everybody, saying that, oh, the millimeters are mad, the millimeters are haters. Like, come on, no. We know how Mattel is. It's crazy that they are giving all these lies. And I think the reason why they're cooking all these lies up is because they do not watch the show and they have no information and they are not privy to what we know. Because if they knew, there are some things they would not be saying, especially this. They would definitely not be saying this. Because then they will be smart enough to know that Mattel would have been the first person to come out to say the millimeters are threatening the judge because Melody did not get what she wanted. If Melody was sleeping with Mattel, Mattel would have come live. I'm sure it would have even put up a whole post. It would have probably done a sex tape or would have taken a picture of Mel on his bed or wherever they had had that sex and he would have posted it. That's how Mattel is. So they were not thinking well while making that claim. It was even the great that killed me when she said, oh, Tiffany Whitlow came to my life when I interviewed her and she was like, Mel and Mattel are still in love. So because Tiffany said it, you are in Mel's heart. I don't know what was the definition of love to them, but love to me is not the one where I would have to be fighting for my kids in court. Love to me is not the one I have to be calling the cops because you are stalking me. Love to me is not the one I have to change my number numerous times to avoid you. Maybe the definition of love they had is not the one we have now because I definitely cannot relate. So that was why I pulled out that document because I was like, before we end this live, I need to make sure I speak about this because Melody said the feds are not involved. We all know how the feds case go. So it's like you're playing with our intelligence. And that's just crazy to me. So you can go on. I'm done.
Well, I agree with just about well, not just about. I agree with everything you said. It's just people are not really using their critical thinking skills when it comes to this case. They're using their emotional skills because they don't like her, so they are talking about her and, talking bad about her and everything. So it's all personal. You would think that she did something personal to Sharell.
Yep, I agree, but I think I think there's some money involved in there. Some, as they say in the day, some payola that's involved somewhere, and I think Mr. allegedly Mr. Carlos King might be behind it, because I wouldn't put it past him. Doing the babysitting tour he took Martell on last week, and now this conveniently happens right before this that comes up this weekend. Mm, we'll see. It'll come out. It'll come out, and we'll see how it all susses out in the end.
Well, I definitely agree that it has to be some form of payment or something, and in order to get these private documents, it has to be coming from him, because I mean, again, the critical thinkers know why would we threaten a judge that Melody just said she won a case for? All they're trying to do is present the millimeters as like we're barbs, we're the beehive, we're just crazy and we just support her no matter what, if she's right or wrong and all of this and all of that. No, she's a woman fighting for her kids. It's like, how can they not see that? And it just doesn't make any sense. And I just don't understand why Sharell, as a woman, won't just let this go, because she's gonna find herself on the wrong end of history when it all comes out in the end.
Yep, I totally agree with you. It's gonna be not good for her.
Sorry. But the thing is, I think because she has done this several times, like put out false information, people will call her out, and she has been let go several times. So she feels, oh, she can do it again and nobody's going to do anything. So that's why I'm like, Melody legit has to speak this time. Like she has to speak this time.
Well, the
Because
way that Sharell did it is she made it seem like, oh, who you talking to, girl? Who you talking to? It's like she took it
ooh,
on so that she can make herself not feel so guilty for what she's doing. Melody wasn't even
There's
talking to
something
you.
wrong with your
Melody was
connection.
okay.
I don't necessarily think it's a connection. I think it's okay. I think we were hearing her, but something was just causing some kind of noise at the back. Hi, Anonymous. If you have something to say, you can speak from
Anonymous to
there.
the rescue. Okay.
Hello, my fellow
Yes,
people. How
anonymous,
are you?
please. Good. How are you? Please.
It has been an honor to deal with these Luciferian demons on the other chats and channels. I'm just telling you. Um, I think the thing is, I'm glad I just came up, Pretty Brown Eyes, and you guys are talking about this. I know everybody's talking about it. I thought it was quite interesting that they didn't show the court order that was issued March 1st, 2023.
They don't have it, Anonymous. That this
No.
is lies. They're mixing old and what happened during the new, but they don't have those new documents.
Yeah. And we knew, anonymous, we knew where you were going, because you kept saying all calmly, what's the date on that document? What's the date? What's the date? I said, oh, she gonna get them. I knew you knew what was going on.
Well, I have to ask that question because as I told you, Pretty Brown Eyes and the other panelists, as an officer of the court, I'm an attorney and a lawyer. It's scary that you have a person who has a Juris Doctorate talking about something that usually is confidential and under gag order. So I do agree that I think this is a deflection tactic because Martell lost allegedly, and he was requested that he had to get a psychological evaluation. So his minions, the lady who you were talking, I forgot who was the person that kept going to each different content creator that was more favorable to Martell,
in my
Yep,
opinion.
in my
in my
opinion.
opinion. And then the JD lady, I think her name is Kia LP or something. I forgot her name. Leah something.
Don, the butterfly, in my opinion, and the legally.
Yeah, legally. They thought they were going to be able to gang up on Melody, in my opinion, to attack her, like, defame her character and have everybody attack all the millimeters like they've done before. So I just made sure, I said, at least on Sharell's World, I said, let me just go up and just try to calm everybody down, because it is a family law matter. It's very tense, but usually these matters are confidential because the goal is to get what's in the best interest of the children, not to have the parents fight each other in the public. That's not the goal. We know it's tense. We know it's matters of the heart, but everybody's got to calm down, because the objective is different than like a civil case where you have a plaintiff and defendant, or even a criminal case. Family law is very different. It's really more, they want people to mediate. The courts rule to have both parents be in the children's lives, as long as they get their act together in some kind of way. So it has a different context. It's not confrontational like everybody thinks. That's not the goal of what they want. So that's the thing. But if they don't have the March one, I thought it was interesting that they came out with the motion that Melody filed against him to show. Now, I'm thinking that motion was not under gag order, or Hotel, in my opinion, I call him Hotel, wanted to purposely reveal that in order to try to attack after we questioned them those 2 sessions on Sharell World and Mims about the information. So, but those are my thoughts, at least on it. I don't think it's going to work. I'm just letting you know. I think
No,
it's made
I think
Melody's
they're
supporters
getting
were there.
yes, anonymous. They're getting too many other people involved, and now that Sharell is doing it, it's going even viral from her standpoint, and it's making her look bad, because she's even went to the depths of reading what was alleged an email from the kids to their dad, and they knew that their dad's it wasn't their dad's week. So Melody, he can write every email or send her every text or call 1,000 times on her burner phone. She don't have to let him come to the children's party. He didn't even tell the babies happy birthday. Hasn't told them in so long, because he's still trying to hide what he did with the peasant and the little baby, the little baby boy.
Yeah, he abandoned the kids after they had the divorce decree. He was MIA for about 4 or 5 months, allegedly, I heard. A couple of months. I don't know how many, where he didn't even visit his children. So I just think he doesn't realize there's so much against him. But again, he's trying to get his 15 minutes of fame, in my opinion, allegedly, because Carlos wants this as a storyline for a show or some other show. And that's what they're doing.
Well, they're trying to paint Melody as bad and him as good, because him on Sheree Don't Pay's arm does not make her look good. It's not like she was in a favorable light anyway, because she allegedly is a criminal as well, and has a long rap sheet, and has complaints of non-payment to vendors and construction people and so forth. So she doesn't have the best image either. But if they could tarnish Melody by tagging Melody and Martell together, you see, they keep lumping them together. Well, she did it too, and he did it too, and they both are to blame. That's what I'm hearing. It's like they're looping Melody in everything that he's done to destroy his marriage.
Yeah, but On and yesterday had an effective rebuttal of their whole points with the facts and what he did. So I just think millimeters who support Melody, I mean, she is my sorority sister. We need to combat evil with the truth and question them. Where'd you get that document? What date is it? Why is it under gag order and sealed? Because I thought it was odd that they said there was a gag order, but then all of a sudden they're leaking stuff. Really? I think they're in trouble, and they know they don't think Melody's going to file a suit, but I think she's going to do a Cardi B, Tasha K on him. She
Well,
has
I
enough
think
to do it.
yeah, well, she's letting them definitely hang themselves. But from what I was told, there's a comment, some real lawyer, not saying you're not a real lawyer, but a lawyer went in her comments or either in the chat and stated a statute that said that them reading those documents from that case was illegal, basically, because
Yeah, it
those
was violation of
cases.
confidentiality in the court, and the court can sanction them, or they can take civil action against them. Yes.
And can't Melody sue the court?
Well,
Because
it's
they
not
are
the court she
definitely
has to
using.
sue. All she has to do is report that the violation happened, like they did originally with Hotel when he was speaking on his IG Live about the kid's custody case, and he gets sanctions. That's what she can do.
Well, they already did that, right?
Yeah, but they can do it if he's doing it for a closed case again. It doesn't stop. You're going to go after him again.
Gotcha. Because I just feel like I was sharing with them, my son got in a little trouble, my older boy, and when we were done with the case, his attorney gave us the entire file. She was like, here's this file. And it had all of the discovery, it had her motions, it had, everything to do with the case. It was, probably about an inch thick, all of the paperwork, even her handwritten notes regarding the case. Because she was like, it's over, we basically, it was over. So she gave it to us. So don't you think that Martell most likely gave his paperwork from his divorce decree and from everything that he paid for up to that date to somebody
Yeah, he
to
did
leak
it.
it?
He gave it to them to try to slander and
Allegedly, sorry.
allegedly, in my opinion, but try to slander Melody.
That's what I was thinking because there's no way, even if we say the documents are fake, let's just say they're not fake. Every different panel that they're sharing them on, they're saying different dates and different things that happened allegedly to Tank. So y'all are saying y'all are for the kids, but why are y'all reading specific things that would have happened to the kids? Just because you redact the name, that does not mean you're still not harming the child. You're still telling the child's personal business.
And this is why, if that Alabama statute is correct, these are confidential, closed cases. They're not supposed to be revealed to the public. Information regarding the children, because you're supposed to redact that information, and they didn't redact it to the public. They could get in trouble. It's just, you're not supposed to do it. And this is my thing. The reason why I went up as an officer of the court is I'm worried about the integrity of the court and the rule of law. Everybody's emotional. Everybody got to calm down here. But if usually we're supposed to resolve conflicts at the courts, you get what I mean? And people respect the rule. If a court may be ruled and then now you have people reassessing how the judge ruled, or you name it, and then trying to undermine that judgment. Well, why do we have a judge even rule if you're going to decide what you want to decide based on what you think? You don't know the law. You don't know what was presented as evidence. You have no idea what was done. So you got to be very careful trying to leap to your own conclusions of what happened, because you don't know all the facts and circumstances that might relate to that case. And that's all I'm saying.
So it seems like Martell, since he lost for real, is trying to try Melody and her character in the court of public opinion
Yeah, he's doing the same
to
thing he did
slander
after
her.
they got the divorce. Pretty Brown Eyes. Remember, he went on the circuit
Yeah, he's on
tour
the smear.
to try to attack
Of
her.
course,
Yeah,
he's on the tour. Right. That's what he's
same thing
doing.
again. He's just using his private investigator, or this other lady, whatever that lady is. She is really huge. You think he
Yeah,
messed with her as a defensive lineman? I don't know. What is
nah,
it?
she breathed too heavy for me, but I was like,
Dang,
dang, take a breath while you reading the paperwork. She seemed like she was
honey, she
tired.
was angry. Woo!
But the thing is, it's like, okay, you're reading the documents and he lost anyway. So what is this really at the end of the day going to settle? Nothing. It's still the same thing.
Well, the thing is, they've reported that it happened on March 1st, 2023, But we know that they previously had a hearing because Black Titanic was at the courthouse and saw that they were there for another hearing, and he didn't show up in
And he didn't
April.
go right. So
So,
if he was
so
winning, how come
uh,
he didn't show up? And if the judge was so against Melody and bashing Melody and scolding her, how they say, why did she still win? Make that
well,
make
that's why I
sense.
say they don't know all the facts, and they're just trying to smear her because they don't like her. And it's okay if you don't like her, but that's not what the case is done. She is an excellent mother, an excellent mother. I mean, this woman has done above and beyond. She could literally destroy hotel if she wanted to. The fact that she hasn't done it to save her kids and their thought of him is admirable to me. She can destroy him literally with what he's done on that show with Love and Marriage Huntsville and what he's done to the kids. She
I
has
just wish
not destroyed him.
No, I wish she would take the gloves off and destroy him. But she doesn't
Well,
want her
she's
kids to
taking
not
the
have a
gloves
father.
off. Yeah, but Pretty Brown Eyes, she's taking the gloves off. But what she's doing is she's setting boundaries. That's what's destroying him. He wants her to stay in an open marriage and allow him to be whatever walking disease humping dog he's doing and
I
cover
had
for
just
him.
said that. I just said that he wants her to stay so he can have his peasant and just be there with him so he can have that perceived family unit look. But he don't have no money, so I don't know what he gonna do with coleslaw because they was really. I think she was really banking on the fact that he was going to win the case because I remember her going live and said that he was about gonna win and this, that, and the third, and how he smells and how he's nothing to be messed with and wooty woo, just singing his praises of how low down he can be and how low down he has been to her.
And that's why you know she's eating the glue when she was a child, because there's no way in the world he's gonna win that. No way. I mean, she doesn't even take care of her kids. So they both don't take care of their kids. How they gonna tell somebody that what's the proper way to take care of their kids? I'm like, get out of here.
I'm in and out, so in a bad area. I'm trying to get home from work, so you can take it over, Anonymous. You have the floor. Everybody want
I
to
don't
hear
know. Y'all have any
your view.
questions?
What?
Y'all have any questions for me?
Not necessarily. But I wanted to ask, so since you're a person of law, I'm more of like the medical, so I'm not really that proficient. So I wanted to ask, let me play the video from the beginning so you get what I'm saying. Because initially, I'm sure you were at the live.
And live in imaginary worlds. Keep making false claims, though, and I'm coming for you. Okay, who the hell making false claims? Who you talking to? I'm gonna need to know who you talking to, and what false claims was put out there. Because I don't take kindly to this. I need to. Who you talking to? What false claims is you talking about? Riling up the troops, riling them up. Everybody, I'm mad, and I need y'all to jump on board.
So for the past 3 days, that's Sharell. I edited that voice obviously because I do not want YouTube to strike me down. So for the past 3 days, I said this before you came in. She has made about 4 to 5 claims about Mel. I don't know where she's getting this info from because I was just very shocked. She claimed Mel is still sneaking around with Martel. She didn't say alleged. That's what I'm saying. She claimed. She never added alleged or anything. She said Mel is still sneaking around with Martel. They're probably still having sex. She said the only reason why Mel is no pretending not to be in the relationship with Mattel is probably because of the whole she's popular and the fans like come at her and all those kind of things. And then she was like, "Oh, the reason why Mel is probably not showing the face of a new boo is probably because of his Mattel." I was really trying to understand because she has been making some claims about Mel's personal life. I don't know how far can Mel take this case because she has been goading Mel, not in this, like in every single life. She has been coming for Mel. Mel never mentioned her name. She just talked about bloggers, but she took it and ran with it and started coming at her from. You would think Mel probably stole or her husband came for her husband, and she kept mentioning that, oh, I've been married for over 30 years. I'm like, when people tell me that, I'm like, why are you telling me? You don't need to tell me you're married for 30 years. Like, miss, if you're legit so happy in your marriage, why do you sound so miserable? You
Well,
want
they might have an open relationship, allegedly, what Perry and her do. I don't know.
because the way she's so male identified, I'm like, girl, at this point, like the life yesterday, she was so heated. I've never seen her so mad. And I don't know why she is so confident that no matter what Mel does, if Mel goes to the courts against her, she's going to come out victorious. Something must be going on that is making her so confident that regardless of the documents she's revealing, knowing that they are inappropriate, she feels that Mel cannot take any legal actions against her.
Well, that's not true. She can take legal action, especially with the revealing of the kids' information. Um, I think what's happening is Sharell, like the first time when I went up there as anonymous, um, I think she was more receptive. But what happened was, I think the person that she was relying on that was giving her the information was that Pretty Brown Eyes. Who was that lady that was going to every panel and giving all the information? I
And
forgot what.
in my opinion, and
In
see
my
what else?
opinion,
Yeah, in my opinion.
she's from Huntsville, Alabama. I think I've heard reports that she's connected with Marlene, which is Hotel's mother. So I think there's a bias here that's going on, and then I think Diva, she might have a legal background in New Jersey, but they have a different viewpoint. So I believe in any content creator, you have a right to your opinion, but you just want to be fair. I think what happened on the first day when I went up, I was able to kind of nullify them trying to attack Melody because they just say they didn't have all the documents. So the second day, what they did was they did a different strategy. They didn't talk about that March 1st, 2023 judgment. They more went to the fact of what I had said, Anonymous had given in terms of the allegations of what Martell was doing as being a bad parent to the
Yeah.
kids. So they tried to deflect. And then what they wanted to do was lump, and it's a narcissistic gaslighting tactic, in my opinion, allegedly. They lump what the peasant is doing with what Melody is doing. So you
Ooh,
won't
I
know
heard
what's going on.
that. Mm-hmm.
And that's what they were characterizing. Now, when I heard them saying it, I said, okay, well, what date are you alleging Melody went back? They wouldn't answer. So this is what I believe Martell or somebody close to Martell lied, and they went through that and thought they were just kind of there, but they don't have the dates. Because the last day she's been with Hotel was April 2020 when she left. She left.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't been with Martell. Evidence of that is this recent season. Remember when he got a call from her from the burner cell phone? He didn't know
His
what to do.
reactions
He was
were
like,
so obvious.
exactly. He said it out of his own mouth. He doesn't at the Destin trip. He doesn't talk to her or see her. So if they had been intimate, like you're saying, he wouldn't act like some kid out of a candy store trying to meet her again.
But Anonymous, he would have told if she did. He tells on all the women when they reject him. He would have made
Exactly.
it, he would have told the world that him and Melody are back together. Matilda
And he
is
Sharei
didn't.
a
better watch
liar.
her back because it's coming for her.
Yeah.
Once the whole drama they are doing is over, oh God, she's going to regret.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's proof, even from Martell's mouth, he has not been intimate and associated with Melody on the show since the time they've been divorced, you name it.
She
So
just
this is a
started
bunch of
filming
that.
back with him this season, or well, whenever she filmed with him when they went to Destin,
Exactly. Or
and
met
that
him
was
at the
it.
reunion. Exactly. Exactly. So because there was an order of protection against them. That's why I said the people just they're just saying things to distract and I think motivate their people who hate Melody to just start attacking people in the chat. But again, it's not going to work. In my opinion, millimeters are activated and we're coming for them. We're not going to sit here and let you lie and defame this woman or defame Vanessa like they did with Pookie. And they were trying to say that she was having relationships with him and that didn't happen. We just have to stand against evil, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
why.
very nasty. When she interviewed him and she's like, "Oh, I just really wanted to get to the bottom of that's the excuse they keep giving. I just really wanted to get to the bottom of all this. It's not like I have anything against this person. Like,
She does have something against her, and she took it personally and made it personal. That's why she was acting like she was so mad. That lady ain't mad. She's laughing all the way to the bank with those 30,000 spins that she's getting on this because drama sells. And this is the hot ticket, so she's jumping on it. Just like how they all did with when R. Kelly uh, thing happened. They all jumped on that. But it's like she replied to Empress, who reported that another YouTuber said that they called Mel and Mel told them that she was aware of the federal case against her about that judge stuff. That's
Wasn't
what
that
Mel
who?
was responding to. She
Yeah, but
wasn't
wasn't that who
responding to
knew?
her.
Wasn't that
I'm
who
sorry.
knew? Wasn't that who
Yes.
knew?
Who
And Empress
okay.
were working on that.
This, see, this is what happened. And I'll say allegedly because I don't want no drama on your channel, Selena. But basically, Empress reported that who knew said that Melody that she called and talked to Melody, and that it was reported that Melody told her that she was aware of the case about the federal case about the judge. That's why that comment that you have, Melody says, I don't know anything about a Fed case. And then if I went to Who News channel and listened to her live, Who News said she got the information from Empress. So both of them blamed it on the other as the source of the information, basically. But I think Empress has taken that video down because I
Yeah,
went
they
and
took
looked
it
for that.
down.
she came
It's not
live
there
crying.
anymore.
I joined the live. She came live. She was making some sort of she was backped. I feel allegedly. I don't want to drag myself into this YouTube channel, but
Yeah.
from the reactions of both of them, I think it was Empress. That's just how it came off to me.
Well, it was inappropriate for both of them to do that when they didn't have the facts. And that's why
Mm.
Melody got into the chat and gave the truth, and they had to retract. I'm just saying, with stuff like this, it seems to be a coordinated effort to cause confusion. So I don't know if they're trying to derail a deal that Melody's about to have come up. Now I'm starting to think that Hotel, in my opinion, that's his nickname, if you're listening. Um, the Devin Keefe situation was done on purpose to prevent, I believe, in my opinion, allegedly, the taping of the other Huntsville officials on Love and Marriage Huntsville to help change the direction of the show. Hotel did that on purpose
And
because I
then
remember,
he
allegedly, in my
apologized and made
opinion,
it about himself when
yes,
he realized that Melody was not messing with that man. He's
yeah, but
just
I
so
think,
ugh.
but I don't think he might have known he wasn't messing with them, but just the fact of doing the allegation, they didn't want the new direction, in my opinion, allegedly, of Huntsville to be with what Melody is trying to do to get people interested. Because think about it this way, who wouldn't have the mayor from Huntsville, other people there for the Christmas dinner, giving out turkeys and other things? That would be a great opportunity for more people to watch the show. I just don't think these people understand. I don't want to see the snots from Michigan. I don't want to see them, or Bessemer. I don't want to see them. We want to see you show Black excellence. We want to see you show development in Huntsville of you doing businesses, not fake stuff. So that's just my opinion, allegedly.
Well, I agree with you, Anonymous, because what I have been noticing is you and your boyfriend allegedly are on a tour together, but every chance you get, y'all mentioning Melody's name. Why? And then you said something. Carlos said something like, "Oh, millimeters, don't attack me, don't get me," or something. He
I was
said,
so disgusted. Like, he has been
like,
talking about millimeters as if he dreams, sleeps, eats, drinks millimeters. Like, dude, did you see the whole drama with the millimeter shirt? I'm like, you are purposely triggering these people knowing that they really do not like you, and then you now act confused about why they're attacking you.
right. So he said that to make us say something, and then he hadn't been commenting on anything that she's done. Now, every time she posts something, he all up in her comments, and the millimeters are roasting the life out of his butt. I know he regret ever saying anything. Just stay in the shadows, stay hating, and stay over there with Martell. We got this. The millimeters are going to watch the show, but they fixed it so that you couldn't even watch it on the replay. Now it's conveniently available after you can't count those views.
Yeah, and that's why I said, who would have the ability, Pretty Brown Eyes and others, to change what would look like on the different networks, the different episodes, so it wouldn't count towards it, even though we watched? And this isn't the first time they've done this. This is the second or third time they've done this when we needed to watch the show. Who's up
But
here
I just so
manipulating
happened to
everything?
watch it. I just so happened to be watching it live, but I had it set to record, but I got home early, and then it didn't even record on my DVR, and you couldn't find it anywhere. You would have literally had to actually watch it at 8 o'clock to watch it. So for it to get the 200 and something thousand views that it even got, I'm shocked that it even got that, because the way that they had it all mixed up and mislabeled, you would have never been able to see it, because they had it as episode 3 and they was playing episode 4, so they messed
Correct.
up
And
her
it looks
100
like,
episode.
yep, and Pretty Brown Eyes, they might have counted it to episode 3. Who was the episode 3 that was done? Was that Bessemer Misfit thing that they had? They were trying to get more views on,
that
allegedly, in
was
my opinion.
that was part 1 of the spa. But remember when part 1 of the spa, it was 100,000 more views than the episode 2 was 100,000 more views. Part 2, it was 13,000 less, but that was just from the live viewers. That wasn't counting the day of and the day after. Remember how Melody was out of town and she was like, "Let's do the live, watch it with me," when
Yes.
everybody watched it, so that boosted the views up again. So they're playing the game so that now that she's explained how you can get it the next day, and it'll still be counted towards her credit for the views. Now they're playing with the title so that you can't watch it and you can't record it, and then
Yeah, it's
if
a
you can't
sabotage.
it's
Somebody's
sabotage.
sabotaging.
Yes.
And I think also with the direction of it, because they had tapings of more people who are professionals in Huntsville, Alabama, who were high in stature, and they're not taping that. So whatever, I look, I believe, like Caramel Rail said yesterday, if you get a chance, hear her read yesterday, Carlos Queen needs to be fired. Period.
Well, Anonymous, did you see that Sharell kicked it off reading a supposedly email and text from one of Melody's children? on her live? How low can you go?
Well, when you're a demon, you'll go that low. But the person who's giving it to him is Martell. That's his information. He's the one that's leaking it. He doesn't care. He'll destroy his children, Melody, because he's destroyed. He doesn't care. That's why I believe he has the 10 traits, in my opinion, allegedly, looking at the behavior at Love and Marriage Huntsville, of a narcissistic sociopath. He doesn't, he's empty inside. He has a diluted reality. If he gets attacked, he's going to be revengeful and attack other people. He only views Melody as his slave and object only. And he's that crazy.
And
He is
he's
that
even
sadistic. That's why they say, if you look at the studies and you read it up, they are the most dangerous people, either a malignant narcissist or narcissistic sociopath. They are the most dangerous because they believe that they're God. They have a God complex and they think they can destroy you if you don't do what they want.
yeah, and he's even trying to destroy Sugar Mama and to destroy his kids because he showed her in the bathroom when she got sick. He has her out in the cold, freezing. He has her on the ground while he puts the side baby in his lap, and he's like, "Oh, there go y'all girl," and showed where she was walking and tripped on the ground. That baby was only 2 years old. Why is she doing all this walking in the cold? He wasn't even holding her hand. It's
Yeah, he
like,
doesn't. You're
what's
right, Pretty
wrong with
Brown
him?
Eyes. Well, he really has a mental illness and mental disorder, in my opinion. And remember on Sharell's live the next day, everybody got mad that Anonymous said that he exhibits the 10 traits of a narcissistic sociopath. He does. Just the panelists, if you want, you can look it up. There's a if you Google the 10 traits of a narcissistic sociopath, a psychiatrist and psychologist, which has been reviewed, give the 10 traits of what they are. And if we go down each list, he meets every single one of them. And that's why Melody is having so much difficulty with this child custody case and getting away from him, because he believes she is his property and a slave to him still. That's the reason.
I agree. I just don't know where this whole thing is going with all this Mattel doing all this interviews. I really don't know because he's making himself look like the victim. His wife came for him. His wife's stealing all these things. It's just really crazy at this point because I don't know because over here, currently I'm in my home country, Nigeria. Over here, there's nothing like a man would cheat on you. They don't forgive cheating at all. So it's just crazy every time I watch like American TV and I'm seeing someone that's cheated, that is making his wife's life hell. And when I go over, I'm like, why is this happening? So it's like whenever I'm in between the two worlds, I'm just very confused because the disparity in how we treat people who act the way Mattel acts to whenever I get there and people are not treating them differently, I'm like, why? Maybe it's like the cultural difference is just so clear. Because why is it being granted interviews? Why is it being treated like he's some movie star? Why is it being asked how he feels about his ex-wife? Like I just don't get why he's getting so much grace.
Well, I'll tell you this, and it probably happens in your culture as well. It's misogyny. It is the hatred of women by men who believe that a woman's place is to be a slave and an object only. That's what's happening. People like Carlos Queen, he admires a person like Hotel or Legs, Hips, and Breasts, Marcel and Maurice. He likes how they demean their women. Um, it's sad, but they get a rush by having people be inferior to them. It's a mental illness, it's a mental disorder, and people need to stop thinking this is natural behavior, because you and I know every human being has made mistakes, has flaws. Nobody's perfect. But a person who thinks that they're a god or an idol only want people that are underneath them, or they can blackmail them to do their bidding. And that's the part where they're the most dangerous. Because if they feel you're no use to them, they'll unalive you. That's what will happen.
Yeah. Mattel told Melody that she was going to learn to accept his infidelity when they were on TV. Yeah, I remember. Like, that's why it was so clear to me that Sharell doesn't know what's happening and she's allegedly being paid to do all this. She had no idea about the um show. She had no idea about their lives. She basically had no idea. She was just giving her opinion from an uneducated point of view because that was exactly how it felt to me. She was uneducated, made no sense, but she was ready to die on that hill of saying nonsense. And I have to give it to her because it takes some amount of guts to spill that the amount of rubbish she was saying with so much confidence in what you're saying. I have to give it to her. I just really have to give it to her. So if anybody has anything to say before we close the panel, and don't forget that we'll be live on Sunday, 5 p.m. EST to review Love and Marriage Huntsville, and on Monday, 5 p.m. EST 2 to review Real Housewives of Atlanta, the new season that is coming up. I hope it's interesting because last season I was bored to death, but I managed to finish it anyways. But I didn't review it.
Well,
But
I'll
we're
tell
going
you
to.
this. I was going to tell you this before everybody goes so they'll understand. In all fairness, Love and Marriage Huntsville, in my opinion, allegedly, has been saving Melody and her children's life.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know she was married to her enemy. She
Yeah.
didn't know that this man was an actor who really had a disdain for her. When I believe, in my opinion, allegedly, when she was able to pass that builder's license exam and he couldn't, his misogynist and chauvinistic rage came up and he sought to destroy her with not only the peasant, but the Snolts and even Carlos Queen. But
Yeah.
what is a blessing for Melody is she was not destroyed. She has become more wiser and has a better understanding that she, in my opinion, allegedly, was dealing with a man who has the 10 traits of being a narcissistic sociopath. And because she's a Christian, or at least believes in God, she needs to thank God every day that this man who intended to destroy her did not destroy her. And those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I totally agree because the show gave her, I'm sure, a lot of ammunition, a lot of like receipts. Because we know that the show is also still protecting Mattel's image. If they really want to reveal some of the things that have happened, Carlos loves Mattel too much, so obviously it's not going to happen. But it definitely did save her.
Yeah, and it's
But
saving us. You don't know how many women I've heard, a lot of people in the chat and other panels have said the teachings Anonymous has done on other panels, the Silva's panel, other people panel regarding the traits of being a narcissist, a malignant narcissist or narcissistic sociopath, understanding the narcissistic abuse cycle, just reviewing what psychologists and psychiatrists have done, has helped them tremendously get out of bad, toxic relationships so that they can have self preservation. So, if this show has done that to help open that avenue for us, I'm all for it.
mhm. I also agree because some women did not even know that they were probably in a very toxic relationship and then they are watching Mel and they're like, wow, so probably this is how I look, but nobody is telling me. But thank you, Anonymous, for jumping in. It was really fun. I would love for you to also come on Sunday and on Monday because your views are quite like
Uh,
really interesting.
All right. Well, I'll try to come up, but you guys keep doing what you're doing, exposing the light on darkness.
Thank you. So, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and hit the like button. Yes, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to tune in 5 p.m. EST on Sunday for the Love and Marriage Huntsville review, and then 5 p.m. EST on Monday for the Real Housewife of Atlanta review. It's going to be a panel form, obviously. We're going to have up to maybe speakers. We're going to break down the episodes. And if you also want to come up, you can send me a DM on Instagram. My YouTube name is my Instagram name, so you can send me a DM if you want to join the Love and Marriage Huntsville panel review, or if you want to join the Real Housewives of Atlanta review. Just send me a DM on Instagram at Turquoiselana, the same name of my YouTube channel. It's the same because we'll be having a panel format of review. It's gonna be a live, so make sure you tune in on Sunday, 5 p.m. EST, and on Monday, 5 p.m. EST for Love and Marriage Huntsville and Real Housewife of Atlanta. We promise you're going to enjoy it because we're going to keep you laughing and dragging all the cast. So see you guys this time. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye. And also support the channel by becoming a member. You just need to click the join button, and for 0.99 cents or $1.99 you can join our membership to support. It was really fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. Click the join our membership, like the video, hit the post notification, and drop a comment. Bye.